You're once again listening to WCVF 88.9, the campus community voice, and 89.5 DVL, the Inferno. Welcome to Radiothon. Welcome to my music actually working. Wouldn't be a true Radiothon segment without something going wrong. Anyway, hello. Welcome to Chiptune on Your Shoulder, a show where I play video game music and yap about my opinions on video games. I have a lot of them. So, you are currently listening to Rolling Down the Street in My Katamari by Fear of Dark. This is actually not a video game song, but just someone making chiptune albums, which I think is very cool. So I'm going to let you listen to the rest of this. Stay tuned for multiple selections off of the album Kind of Bloop, a chiptune version of Miles Davis's Kind of Blue, along with multiple other non-chiptune video game songs. I hope you enjoy the rest of the hour. See you soon. Alright, hello once again. My name is Liam, in case you missed it the first time, and welcome to Chiptune on Your Shoulder. So, the first subject I have to talk about is what makes a good rhythm game chart. Lately, I've been playing a lot of two rhythm games that I really enjoy. One is called Crypt of the Necrodancer, and the other is Rift of the Necrodancer. Now, Rift is a more traditional rhythm game, with a little bit of differences. In the original Crypt, it's more of a dungeon crawler set to rhythm, but the monsters that are in Crypt kind of got ported over to Rift, so it's a Guitar Hero style track. When the monsters, go along the track and you end up hitting them, sometimes they will move, sometimes you'll need to hit them multiple times. So just in general, it deviates a little bit from the standard Guitar Hero, DJ Max rhythm game type formula. which I really appreciate. I am a big fan of all of that for multiple reasons, but I'm not talking specifically about Rift, although I will be bringing it up a bunch. Just in general, what makes a good rhythm game chart? Now, if you're going with... No, I think this goes for all of it. There's multiple different styles, 4-key, 5-key in terms of Guitar Hero, 3-key in terms of Rift. I think Digimax Respect has the 5 keys, 6 keys, and 8 keys, which makes it really difficult. But in general, I think one of the main things to worry about is the kind of patterns that the notes have, and the kind of patterns that you are tapping out when you're playing the game. It is always good to have patterns that repeat, but you don't want to overuse a pattern so much that it gets repetitive. A lot of charters, in my opinion, get this wrong in that they either try to, have everything be so totally different from each other, so, you can't really expect what's coming next. Or on the flip side, oh, I have this pattern that matches up with the music, I'm gonna use this over and over and over again until it gets old. So it is good to strike that balance between having a pattern that matches up with what you're trying to play versus, not overusing that. A good thing to start with would be kind of staying with the melody. Sorry, I'm just checking my levels to make sure the underlying music isn't too quiet. I hope I have it right. Oh, there's headphones. I should probably be using those. Haha. Anyway. Oh god, sorry. Yeah, okay. Hello. That's good. So, aside from that, this is, in terms of, let's see, I have notes for this, I swear. Clarity versus replayability. One of the things that I enjoy about playing rhythm games is being good at rhythm games. And that might sound kind of obvious or kind of self-centered a little bit, but one thing that makes it easy to feel like you are good at rhythm games is if you have a chart that matches up really well with what the song is doing, but is also very clear. If the notes are going down towards the action row, which is where you kind of hit the notes, you're trying to do that, and all of the notes are stacked on top of one another, and you can't tell where the beat is versus where the offbeat is versus anything else with that. That's not a very clear track, and if it's not clear, then it doesn't really incentivize players to keep going. Then again, if you have charts where all of the notes are on the beat and nothing else, then you struggle with incentivizing the replayability of, well, I got almost a full combo the first time, why should I replay this song? So again, striking that balance is just something to be aware of, especially in games like Rift and kind of other games where you can make your own charts to other music. Music choice is also kind of important, but I didn't really think about that before I got on air here. Keep your songs under 5 minutes, I'd say, because anything more than that, and it is a slog to get through. There was one custom track in Rift that was made for April Fool's Day that was a mashup of all of the official songs in Rift, but it was 18 minutes long, I believe, and even though I knew what I was getting into, it was still an absolute struggle for me to try and get through that. So yeah, I think that's my thoughts on what makes a good rhythm game chart. Some of this also crosses over into the Rhythm Heaven custom remixes, but because that's, Nintendo product, I'm not gonna dwell too much on that. So, it is currently at 5:15, so I should probably do some of the logistical sweeper stuff. I'm gonna be playing some music after this, Up next is blocks from the Minecraft soundtrack, parallel universes from Sayonara Wild Hearts, and glass cages from Rift of the Necrodancer. So, thank you very much. I hope you all enjoy. After I get my mouse in the right place. Alrighty.
Jackson DeCarlo here. You're listening to 88.9 FM.
The voice of Fredonia. Tune in every Friday at noon to catch one of Fredonia's hottest radio shows, High Noon Friday. Catch the community voices on local news. Keep updated on the latest sports games, the weather, world affairs and international news, and other entertaining segments like trivia and Just the Facts. High Noon Friday, every Friday at noon, on 88.9 WCVF and 89.5 WDVL.
Hello and welcome back. You're listening to 88.9 WCVF, the campus community voice, and 89.5 WDVL, the Inferno. We've hit the halfway point in my first show of the night. You are currently listening to Blue in Green, or the rendition of it. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed so far. My next topic on video games and all things fun like that, what makes games fair? Now, I've been getting into a lot of harder games, specifically Celeste, more so last year than this year, and then, as previously mentioned, Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is a rhythm-based roguelite, sorry. The difference, for those of you who don't know, roguelikes, if you die, you have to start completely over, whereas roguelite, you can unlock permanent upgrades that help you in your subsequent runs. Either way, Crypt has both of those depending on which mode you play in, but I'd say is primarily a roguelite. Not important to what I'm talking about. I just like the game a lot. But anyway, in terms of what makes games fair, especially harder games where you may struggle at first, you may end up dying a lot, how do you keep players engaged and feeling like their time is worth it? As far as Celeste goes, which is a platformer, they implement a thing called Coyote Time, which is a reference to the Roadrunner, where Coyote kind of runs off the side of the cliff, but then doesn't realize that the cliff isn't there anymore, and there's a little bit of time before he finally realizes and falls down. That is implemented in Celeste in terms of even if you, run off the edge of a platform, there's still a little bit of time in which you can jump off, even if your sprite isn't entirely within the bounds of that platform, which really makes it feel like it's responding better to the buttons that you are pressing. Another thing that it implements really well is the quick and snappy respawn time, which can make it you can make that even faster if you just press the A button. Helps cut down on the frustration you feel where, you get to a longer room and you die immediately and it's like, okay, I can get right back into it instead of having to watch a longer cutscene or anything. So that's more so for platformers and everything. But one thing that helps out in all games is being able to customize the settings in whichever way you choose. And I think Celeste does this really well with both its normal settings and its assist mode settings, and Crypt also does this really well with all of its rebindable controls, options for audio, so being able to separately adjust game audio versus sound effects, being able to adjust viewing options, and I'm kind of running out of time. I had more to say about this than I thought I did, so real quick after this, it is Showtime from Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartending Action, Disco Descent, specifically the synthwave version from Crypt of the Necrodancer, and then Sweet Trip from WarioWare DIY. Hope you enjoy. Hello, hello. I'm back. So, what's the next topic? We've got approximately 9 minutes of song. I'll probably split this up with, the logistics, maybe grapevine halfway through. So, I have opinions about handheld consoles, specifically Nintendo consoles. Specifically, the 3DS is the best console that Nintendo has put out for a multitude of reasons, which can be summed up with: the 3DS feels like it loves you, and the Switch doesn't. I can elaborate, I promise. So, I think the main thing that struck me when I first bought my Switch was the complete and utter lack of customization. Specifically, themes. If you've had a 3DS, you would know that there would be themes that you could get for free or purchase off of the eShop adjacent, whatever it was. And these themes could range from cutesy pink hearts to your favorite video game characters to your simple light theme, dark theme, and really anything in between. There was a lot of customization you could do. On the home screen, there was even what was called the Nintendo Badge Arcade, where you could play a virtual claw machine game and win these little decorations that you could put on your home screen from some of your favorite games. I personally really liked the Rhythm Heaven ones. I thought they were cute. But then again, as previously established, I am a fan of rhythm games. The Switch has none of that. It has a light theme, it has a dark theme, that's really about it. Which also leads into, there's no music anywhere. On the home screen from the 3DS, yes, it was fairly ambient, but there were still songs of some sort. On the Switch, none of that, nothing in the eShop, nothing in the Mii Maker. The Mii Maker is hidden in the settings, which I kind of figured that Nintendo was trying to move away from the Mii branding, but even that seems a bit annoying, especially since Miis are still used. You could still play as your Mii in Mario Kart, in Smash Bros. I'm sure there are other Miitopia. That was a Switch port. Anyway, the 3DS has music everywhere, has customization everywhere. It has personality. And that's what I really think is missing from modern consoles especially. Everyone is afraid to commit to a theme, commit to a brand, and just trying to sell to the lowest common denominator, not to get too, societal, political at almost 6 a.m. But it's still something I feel very strongly about. But the main reason why I feel like the 3DS is the best console is the single most egregious thing I'd say did not get ported, and that would be Street Pass, where, if you don't know, you could bring your 3DS along with you in sleep mode, so system closed, but not off. You would pass by another person who also had a 3DS, and you would exchange information, and you would get that other person's Mii in your Mii Plaza, and then you could play games. And that really incentivized the community aspect of playing video games together and having fun with friends or strangers, people you've never met. I love nothing more than going to conventions and, bringing my 3DS along and getting dozens upon dozens of Street Passes with people who I barely knew, but I could still play games with them. And yeah, the games were fairly simplistic, and you did have to pay for the 2 expansion packs they had, but they were cheap. I think it was like $7 total, maybe? Or maybe $7 each. I don't know. Either way, it was still cheaper than Nintendo Online, not to get into that whole business. But that's my thoughts on why the 3DS is the best console. Also, I just like the stylus. I like the physical touchscreen of it. Yeah, I don't know. All that to say, you know what? I don't have opinions on the Switch 2, actually. Hasn't come out yet. I don't care. So it is about that time to read a grapevine, I'll say. Oh, also, you're currently listening to Freddy Freeloader, also off of Kind of Loop. Anyway, off to our news from the grapevine. WNYF's television's current longest-running late-night talk show, A Sit Down with Brock, is coming to a close with a grand series finale. And the question on everyone's mind is, how would the host top himself this time? Get ready for even more off-the-wall banter, sharp zingers, hilarious interviews, and overall, expect the unexpected. If you're interested and don't want to miss out, tune in on Thursday, May 8th at 10 p.m. on the WNYF television YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/WNYF television. So, you should definitely tune into that. I hear it's going to be really fun. So that is that. And we are, unfortunately, almost approaching the end of my set. I've got a few more songs for us. Let's see. I don't know how far I'm gonna get before I have to do the booth plays, but let's just say, Spin to Win from A Dance of Fire and Ice. Oh god, I'm blanking on the name of this. From Louis Zong, he did stuff with the Mac Drum software, which I think is really cool. And then A Cyber's World from Deltarune Chapter 2. All that being said, I will do that after... No, wait a minute. After this liner, which one was I gonna do? Oh god. I swear I know what I'm doing, guys. Anyway, I'll see you right after this.
What's up? I'm Matt.
I'm Colin.
I'm Pat.
I'm Joey. We're House and Home, and you're listening to WCVF 88.9 The Voice.
Hey, this is Mac Drums, a 36-year-old computer program. Check out what I can do.
Spirit led me out for 40 days and 40 nights. But the devil showed up with a film crew, baby, and he shot it all in black and white. And later when I saw the dailies, it felt like it didn't turn out quite right. 'Cause between my loving and the setting sun, you know I ain't got time to fight. Nah, I ain't got time to fight. Oh no. I found myself most peacefully alone upon the street, with a highway running like a river on fire through the city underneath my feet. The traffic had spread out endlessly to the north, south, left and right. 'Cause between your loving and the setting sun, you know I ain't got time to fight. Nah, I ain't got time to fight. Oh no. Time to fight you. Yeah, the spirit led me out down through a maze of rusty cars. Man, I got so lost till a stripper in a fake fur coat was showing me her scars. She said they make a map, it'll take you back, lead you home like a guiding light. 'Cause between my loving and the setting sun, you know I ain't got time to fight. No, I ain't got time to fight. Time to fight you. Oh my love, now I ain't got time to fight you. Oh my love, now I ain't got time to fight you. I finally found my head, and in my bed I slept a while. But the devil showed up like a game show host in a blazer and a stolen tie. His eyes were long and he sang a song that skipped like a broken kite. He said, between my loving and the setting sun, you know I ain't got time to fight. No, I ain't got time to fight. Oh no. Ooh. Ooh. My love, now I ain't got time to fight you. Oh my love, now I ain't got time to fight you. Oh my love, now I ain't got time to fight you. Get you see my love. Oh my love, 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 get you see my love. Born on a backseat between the false water sky, raised in the rain, sound and shape can't escape until brown arms and muddy eyes roll down the wind. The girl, subtle body, wake up, become dead god of the green horizon. Billions of miles, see the bells hanging in the sky, baptized by birth at a bus stop in Illinois. Purposeless powers that race from your feet and hands. Subtle body, wake up, become dead god of the green horizon. Come to me, chill of calamity. Your eyes are not windows, but mirrors that hold the whole world in a calm embrace. Slowly erase the fine, subtle body. Wake up, become dead god of the green horizon.
Ray Parker Jr. Here we go with Ghostbusters.
Something strange, sleeping in your bed. Let me tell you something. There's something weird, sleeping in your bed. Let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. Seeing things, sleeping in your bed. Let me tell you something. Let me sleep in your bed. Let me tell you something. Sleeping makes me feel good. I ain't afraid of no sleep. I ain't afraid of no bed. An invisible bed. And a freaky ghost bed. Makes me feel good.